Hi folks, this is Don Meisner with the North Country Fishing Report. Well, I got to tell you, right now is a time when changes are coming more quickly, I think, than they do all year. With the air temperatures going so cold at night, it's causing the water temperature to change very quickly. And when this happens, so many other things happen. One thing you got to remember is that in the fall, bait fish are so subject to rapid change that they die off quickly. And so that affects how the other fish feed and where they're going to feed. One thing I want you to remember is that the conditions in every single body of water are a bit different right now, because the deeper the water, let's say you're in the St. Lawrence River or whatever, the deeper the water, the less air temperature changes are going to change the temperature of that water. But in shallow lakes like Black Lake, the conditions that existed yesterday might be totally different today. For example, you might go to a spot where you just hammer the fish and you think, okay, tomorrow I'm going out again. You go out the next day and those fish are either gone or they've changed their habits. And I'm seeing this in the places that I go. I have a pond that I fish, and I got to tell you, and I love it, and I've talked to you about it, how I wade through the muck. And what I'm finding now is when I do get to go out, and when I do this, 75-80% of the time I'm there, I am getting nothing. I'm not getting a strike. It's nothing happening. And then all of a sudden things will change. And I'll go through a flurry of strikes and catch some fish. But the interesting thing is that just a couple weeks ago, I would go to certain key structures. And in the case of the pond, those structures might be a point or a sandbar or a flat. These become different structures in the pond. They had weed growth on them, but the weeds are dying off so rapidly that things change. And where groups of fish had moved in 2 weeks ago and were feeding like crazy, I'll go to the same places now and nothing. So it really makes a challenge for when we go fishing right now. We got to be aware that so much changes, and so our approach has to change too. We have to be aware that we've got to maybe change lures, change depths that we're fishing, and look for anything that might be a bit different, that might trigger fish to feed. And the other thing is the hours are shorter, it's getting colder, and boy, I'll tell you, that may be the reason that so many avid fishermen now are changing, and their whole activity is about hunting deer. Until next time, folks, this is Don Meisner with the North Country Fishing Report.